So here's a one-off of the Ptarmagan Sprint from 8/26. Figured I would do this one a little bit different. Wanted to see what was actually going on. So here we go. It's party time and Steve Hyland's kind of up the road. I don't know if he realized how far up the road he was, but this is a tendency in people to just kind of chase. Here's a gentleman like starting to chase up the road like I wasn't going fast enough for him. In any case, I'm going to go up to the front or at least close to the front and maybe help bring some people back, make certain that everyone's cool. But you can see by like Ron's power, not doing anything, 70 watts, 0 watts as we coast up there to bring the 3 people back. And there's always people that like to try to be up near the front. And, one of these days, I'm going to just say, we're going to do the TTH edition of this ride and see how much it actually gets blown up. And then the wheel suckers will be like, oh, yeah, that's what it looks like if the big men aren't kind to me. Not that I'm the big man or anything, but I'm not going to be in the last group, and it would indeed be shattered to the point where it wouldn't be any fun. So we try to keep that fun here because, like I always say, it's more fun to drop your friends over and over again than to just drop them once. So we're in a decent formation here. I'd rather us either be 2x2, but it looks like Steve doesn't ride on a ride next to Jacob. And it's kind of interesting because there was some coordination like later on in here between looks like Curtis and Jacob, and I'm surprised they didn't coordinate better. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So my power's looking good. It's time to go bring these people back up there. Maybe they think we're all there. So my 30-second power and 280s, 290s. I'm not feeling horrible, not feeling great, but not feeling horrible either. And you can see as we coast up to the back of them, and now it's Grupo Compacto. Well, we have this bridge coming up, and in the old days, we would hammer all the way up to it. But recently, there's been a call to have a truce before we get to that bridge section, because it could be a little sketchy, and then game on. Although after last week's shenanigans by Steve Masted, we were doing like 27 miles an hour, 28 down through here. And he's like, well, what am I doing? I'm just taking it easy. I'm only doing 300 watts. Whatever, dude, you're going fast. But everyone stayed with it. I'm not complaining. It just, we need to get the rules set. Like, what are we doing here? In any case, Highland's up front, driving the mule train. Things are looking good, and I'm starting to think about my positioning here. I usually don't like to sprint on this one. I think it's like too dangerous because too many people just like swing out. It's just a recipe for disaster. There was a crash like earlier on, many years ago. Rick, Ilka, Curtis, Ian went down, and really this isn't long enough to cause any kind of selection. And when you have this many wannabes in the group, it's just a recipe for potential disaster. So there's the bridge I just spoke about. Everyone's across there safely, looking good. My power's dropped a little bit, sitting in at 180 for 30 seconds. And now Dean is going to take over. So Dean's kind of doing his own thing. He's got a big triathlon up. So he's going out there like pushing, I think, 400 watts for 30 seconds and he'll give up. And I'm looking at who's in front of me and I'm not all that pleased by it. Because Brendan's kind of new, and I'm surprised that he just wants to suck wheel at this point or just do his own thing. That he didn't go with Dean to sit on his wheel. He's kind of just sitting out there. Don't know if he studies NorCal cycling or any of the other people on the web, for etiquette. And then Eric's in front of me. Eric doesn't have a great sprint, but he's okay to be behind, but I'd rather not. In any case, here it is. Here's go time, and here's a little bit of the bone of contention here. So Curtis is looking back for Jacob. They have some kind of collusion here. So Elise is in good position on Curtis's wheel. And here we go. Curtis is waving Jacob to come out. And Elise is nice. And she backs off to let Jacob in, totally killing her momentum. And then these guys take off. Now I'm boxed in here. Brenda's not going to do anything. Eric's not going to do anything to try to keep with its acceleration. And I'm basically a hose that these guys throw it down. So you can see, my power 100. I'm waiting to get out here where there's a little bit of frustration. Now time to throw it down. Got to catch up. A lot of room to catch up. There's Eric's kind of struggling there. I don't know if he's going hard or what he's doing. There's Jonathan, Elisa. There's a little bit of chatting about what's going on there because Elisa was riding super strong today. Oh, there go the TTH guys the other way. So there goes Brendan. He doesn't have the acceleration of the snap. And here's Ron. So my 30-second power, 420 watts right there. And so we're making ground on these guys fast. I could have been there. I could have been a contender, but I wasn't there because I was boxed in. So that little kerfuffle back there, if people are planning to do things, like Jacob was boxed in. He boxed himself in there. And if I were Elisa, I would not have been nice. Elisa's on the Rio team. Jacob's not riding for anybody. Curtis might be whatever team. But then the point is, not my teammate, not my problem, that you, in fact, didn't position yourself. So I would have held my ground. Now, this isn't a race. We're out to have a good time. But just the word of the wise as far as tactics, Elisa, you were too nice. And so if we had that play out again, it might be different. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Peace out.